Scott probably did become too much of a hero in the early days, and I think because of that, it's now swung the other way. But I don't think it'll swing too far the other way, because basically he was a great explorer.
I don't think people should underestimate what they did. What they did with what they had was truly, truly remarkable.
Shackleton and Scott were unbelievably physically and mentally tough people. They both came across problems, they sorted them out in different ways, and they both had huge areas of bad luck and huge areas of enormous success. They were both great men.
Almost 100 years on, while public fascination with the race for the South Pole continues to grow, the spirits of Robert Scott and his companions hang over Antarctica, while his body still moves in the direction of home.
He's lying in the Ross Ice Shelf, several tens of feet down, and he's heading towards the sea and will come out into the sea in approximately 150 years. Will probably, most likely, just sink to the bottom, and no one will ever see it or know about it.
With Shackleton, who didn't achieve any of his geographical goals, and yet now is, there's so much interest in him, died in South Georgia, just off the Antarctic continent, and is buried there. And, that is a lasting tribute to him. And, one of the great excitements of going to visit that part of the world is actually be able to go to his grave and pay one's respects to him. So, in a way, it's strange that in the end, Shackleton has got the lasting recognition in terms of being physically buried there, whereas Scott has disappeared.
Some will leave with a few thousand. Some might hit the jackpot. But some won't even leave with their pride. Join Noel Edmonds for Are You Smarter Than a 10-Year-Old? Tonight at 6, Sky 1.
You're the toughest critics in the beauty industry. And some beauty products just don't make the grade. In the largest independent consumer survey on innovation, thousands of you have passed your judgment on which beauty products match up to your high standards and decided on a winner. You've judged Nice and Easy, the winning hair colour product in the UK. An expert blend of subtle tones for natural-looking colour. Nice and Easy, hair colour product of the year.
This is new Fibersure. It's 100% vegetable fibre and it dissolves completely in water. New Fibersure. Just add water and smile inside.
At TK Maxx, big famous brand fashion and homewares are always up to 60% less. Big labels, small prices, TK Maxx.
After Vic's first offence, you can look forward to knowing your cold might never develop.
I thought love was only true in fairy tales, meant for someone else, but not for me. And then I saw your
So before a cold has the chance to take hold,
I'm a believer.
use Vicks First Defense to attack the cold virus where it starts and help stop it developing. Vicks. We start with solutions, not problems.
November on Sky Sports. Great derbies and head-to-heads from the Premier League, including Arsenal v Man United. Euro 2008 qualifiers, Scotland, Italy, Wales, the Republic of Ireland, plus England in Austria. More from the Football League and the FA Cup, and follow all 6 British teams in the UEFA Champions League. This is amazing! What a show! November on Sky Sports.
My worst fear is that my brain that tells me logically, you're not going anywhere. Something's going to go wrong with my brain and my body's going to take over and I'm going to throw myself over.
Jen McQuaid is a 31-year-old art therapist who lives in Boston in Massachusetts. She offers therapy to her clients, but is in need of therapy of a different sort for herself. She suffers from Gephyrophobia, a fear of bridges. Crossing them, by car or foot, can bring on a panic attack.
The scenery starts spinning, it's uneasy, I feel off balance. I've thrown myself onto the ground just trying to stabilize. I would do anything to avoid walking over a bridge. Talking about it makes me a nervous wreck.
With its harbor and rivers, Boston is a community in which it is hard to avoid bridges.
When I'm driving, I feel like I'm going to go into the other lane and hurt somebody. That would be the most horrible thing. It frustrates me because I think I could really hurt somebody just because my own fear. It's a magnet that's pulling me over, or something inside of me, I'm just gonna throw myself over. Logically, I don't think I would, but I don't know that. And I think that's why I need to fix this.
Jen's fiancé, Ed Current, knows that in every other way, Jen is rational and stable.
She's very strong, you know, in every other aspect of her life, and she's very rational, and she's clear-headed, and it just seemed bizarre to me that she couldn't explain what was going on. She would just clam up and be terrified. She just cries uncontrollably, shakes, sweats, grabs onto things, she panics. She looks like, you know, an animal that's in a cage and trying to get a way out. Pretty often she'll wake up screaming or yelling.
Gripping the pillow, the bed.
Kicking.
I have nightmares of falling from them.
The fear seems so real. Like, I know it's not something she's doing for attention. I know if she could, she'd fix it and cure it.
If I don't address my fear and take care of it, I could really hurt someone or myself. I think that could happen.
In search of a cure, Jen goes to Boston's Center for Anxiety and Related Disorders to begin a course of therapy with Dr. Cami White, who specializes in phobias.
It's not uncommon for people to have that fear that they might do something uncontrolled. That's the nature of a panic attack, is that it's out of your control. And in her case, she does fear jumping over the edge. In her situation, it's unlikely that Jen would ever jump off of the bridge. And part of the reason that she doesn't have confidence or know that is because she's never stayed in that situation long enough to learn that her body won't have that strong, push to jump over the edge.
I hope that I'm able to go over a bridge and not look back, not think twice about it, walk across it and say, that was so easy. What the heck was all this fear about?
Hi.
Hi.
In an early session, Dr. White tries to discover the intensity of Jen's phobia and where it might have come from. Jen recalls an incident from her childhood when she was walking over a railway bridge with her father.
Scary. And my dad grabbed me by the shirt, and I think if he hadn't...
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's all right.
I think if he didn't grab me, I think I would have gone over.
Nobody should have to live with a phobia that causes them distress or life interference. Lots of people have phobias that are fairly minor. A phobia of, tall mountains or bears are perfectly fine phobias unless you live in the middle of the mountains. It's those phobias that impact your daily life that cause you significant interference and distress. No one should live with a phobia like that.
It is pretty hard to avoid bridges wherever one lives. Most people cross at least one bridge a day to reach their work, their home, or the rest of the world. Like most man-made structures, bridges have been known to fail, but it is rare. The most spectacular collapse captured on film occurred in November 1940, when the Tacoma Narrows Bridge in Washington state began to vibrate in the wind. And there have been others.
A highway bridge collapsed into a rain-swollen creek over the weekend. At least 4 other people, though, are still unaccounted for.
The upper level completely collapsed on the lower level.
Investigators still don't know why the bridge fell into the river.
36 people in 6 cars and a bus plunged into the water 150 feet below.
Inspections of the bridge Monday.
Any collapse is likely to have serious consequences. Gustavo Morales Jr. is a survivor.
I was on the bridge and suddenly I was in the air. I was waiting, yelling, screaming, and then I hit the water. I thought I was gonna die.
Early in the morning in September 2001, he was heading home from work, crossing the Queen Isabella Causeway in southern Texas.
I remember my truck jumping in the air like a roller coaster. I started screaming, yelling. I didn't know where I was going. I was gonna hit the water, I was gonna hit concrete or what. First thought was my family, my 2 girls and my wife, that at that moment she was 7 months pregnant. My truck, it was filled with water inside of my cabin. And my first reaction was to try to break the window or trying to open the door, but it was real hard. I remember, the seatbelt. Pulled out the seatbelt, rolled down the window. I think it was manual, and that's how I made it.
The bridge had been hit by a barge out of control, and a huge section of the causeway fell into the Laguna Madre. A number of vehicles, including Gustavo's, were thrown 80 feet into the water.
Unfortunately, there were 8 people dead and 3 survivors, and I was one of the survivors. So of course, now I believe miracles exist, and I'm one of them.
His wrecked truck reveals just how miraculous his survival was.
I don't feel scared. It's something that I need to live with. If I have to cross a bridge, I'm gonna cross it like normal. Hopefully it won't happen again, and not to me. But no, I'm not afraid. And if I have to cross another bridge, I would do it.
Hi, Jennifer.
Hi. Good to see you.
In their next therapy session, Dr. White begins to expose Jen McQuaid to the cause of her fear, and they don't have to venture far from this office to do so.
Why don't we head on out to the Viruscape?
Okay.
I'll probably go out there with you just to sort of get you used to the environment, but then I'll probably step back in.
I'm ready.
All right, let's go.
On the fire escape, Jen relays her fear level to the therapist on a scale of 1 to 8.
And what kind of number would you give me?
8.
Okay. And what I want you to do is, I want you to just look down for me. Okay?
Uh-huh.
And what physical symptoms are you giving me?
I'm dizzy and I'm unsteady and it's hard for me to breathe.
It is terror. A panic attack is terrifying. It's the equivalent of walking out into the street and not seeing a racing truck coming straight at you, and somebody just barely pulls you back and just barely miss the truck hitting you. That sort of flood of intense feelings and intense fear.
I would give myself a 7 still.
Okay.
My vision's blurry and my heart's beating.
And I want you to just sort of scan around up here and look around.
Okay.
Don't allow yourself to focus on any one thing. Just want you to look around.
Okay.
You're doing a great job.
Thanks.
You're doing a great job. I'm gonna step on inside.
Okay.
It's even worse on her own.
I feel like I'm gonna throw myself over.
What kind of number are you giving me?
8.
Okay.
I'm back up at an 8.
And give me those symptoms again. What symptoms are there?
Just so dizzy. I just felt like I was gonna do a somersault.
You're doing a great job of looking around.
Slowly, Jen's panic begins to subside. The exposure works according to plan.
All right. Yeah, I'm getting better.
There's a couple things that change. Probably one of the first things that changes their body's response system. That the body, once they learn and are shown that there's no objective fear in that situation, their body stops responding so strongly. The panic attacks start to be shorter in length. They stop firing quite as strong. They're less intense, and they don't last as long. And that is almost fairly immediate. Is that breathing coming back to normal?
Yeah, my heartbeat is pretty close to normal, I'd say. I'm not shaking. I don't feel nearly as dizzy. It's good. I feel better.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's amazing.
And you can come on back in.
You don't need luck, and you don't even need to phone a friend. All contestants need to do is answer a few simple questions, wearing a lie detector.
Nothing But the Truth starts next Sunday at 9 on Sky One and Sky One HD.
Rimmel London's new Renew and Lift Foundation with peptides. Lifts and smooth skin for even coverage. Look and feel years younger. Act young, look younger.
Get the London look.
With Renew and Lift Foundation from Rimmel London.
Next time you're in the frozen bit, look out for the Bird's Eye Be Mortgage Free promotion. If you win, you'll be mortgage free. Be mortgage free with Bird's Eye.
Driving a Blue Motion Polo instead of your normal small car for a year could reduce your carbon footprint as much as recycling over 25,000 plastic bags.
The sequel to the best-selling horse riding game, Pippa Funnel 2.
farm adventures. Available now on Nintendo DS.
When I go out and do a gig, you're just afraid they're going to move and you're going to open your mouth and say something and they're going to drop. And if your teeth dropped out when you were saying something, it would be awful, wouldn't it? I wear polygrip now most of the time when I'm singing. You're confident then. It's no different to having ordinary teeth, as you know, the dentures wouldn't even come into it. Your teeth were stuck in. And if you put the stuff in the morning, it can last you the whole day.
On DVD, Lost, the complete third series.
We know exactly who you are, Jack Shepherd.
Tell me where my friends are! This year's most gripping TV show. Now with hours of exclusive bonus features. Lost, the complete third series, the unexplored experience. On DVD Monday, also available series 1 and 2.
Actimel is scientifically proven, and you can see that proof for yourself on our website. No wonder Danone Actimel is Britain's favourite probiotic.
Danone.
Introducing the one-touch can opener from Culinair. Revolutionary.
Coming through a screen near you. 1 week, 1 place. Pure evil. The 7-day nightmare. Coming soon to Sky Movies, Sci-Fi and Horror.
The fire escape was not all for the day. Jen and Dr. White drive to the Sagamore Bridge, which spans a canal about 50 miles southeast of Boston.
Okay, I see the top of the bridge.
And what kind of number would you give me?
I'd say maybe a 4 or 5.
Okay.
I would never want to hurt anyone. And I think driving and looking at and realizing that there's water over there or there's a giant crevice, I want to drive the other way. I could hurt someone I love or somebody I've never even met.
And right now, any physical symptoms?
My heart's pounding. It's hard for me to swallow. My mouth is dry. Starting to feel a little dizzy.
Okay. I want you to go ahead and glance off to the right.
Okay.
Just glance.
All right.
What kind of number are you giving me?
7 or 8. Probably,
okay.
Yeah, 8 now that I'm at the top.
Okay, I want you to glance over to the side.
Okay.
What kind of number would you give me?
8, probably. Dizzy.
She makes it across, but quickly. She must learn to linger on a bridge, something that she has consciously avoided for most of her life.
All right. Nice job.
Thank you.
Yeah. So what do you say we walk over?
Okay.
Because we need to be up there long enough period of time to get your anxiety to come down while we're still up there.
Okay.
So, all right.
All right. The wind's blowing, so that's hard for me. I definitely have, my heart's pounding. Having a difficult time breathing. I feel dizzy.
I want her to embrace the symptoms of fear, to be able to experience those symptoms on the top of a bridge without fleeing and without feeling terror like she has in the past is the goal.
There you go, perfect.
And I want you to go ahead and lean right on over there.
There are certain phobias shared by many people, but a phobic's reaction in the face of his or her fear and how each responds to therapy is very much down to the individual.
You want to go ahead and keep that hand on your hip for me?
Okay.
There you go. Perfect. You go ahead and take a look down. There you go. Perfect. I'm going to step back a little bit, and I want you to stay right up on in there, all right?
Okay.
Still giving me the 8? Yeah. Okay. Keep that smile on and stay right on in there. Still giving me the 8?
Maybe a little better. Maybe a 7 or 8.
All right, let's go on up to the top.
Okay.
I want you to keep looking over the edge. Okay.
As they head to the apex of the bridge, Jen understandably becomes more fearful and her symptoms get worse.
I'm trying to breathe. It's hard for me to breathe.
Great job. You're doing a great job. Sure, I want your feet about right there. There you go. Excellent. Jen has never seen the top of a bridge for more than literally seconds. And to help her brain to learn that there is no fear is a big cognitive shift for her.
This bridge is shaking. The bridge is shaking, I think.
Is that just you?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think the bridge is really shaking.
Okay.
A lot of bridges are built to purposefully shake. Remember, we talked some about that. They need to have that kind of give.
I don't feel as bad. I feel maybe like 5 or 6.
5 or 6?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I'm going to walk away for a little bit.
Okay.
And I'll pop in every few minutes just to see how your numbers are.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
Once again, Jen is alone with her fears, this time on top of the bridge.
Want to give me a number? I think I'm okay, like 5 or 6 still. I'm okay.
Fabulous.
Again, her fear slowly subsides.
What kind of number are you giving me now?
I'm okay. Even with that car beeping.
Yeah.
I just said, you know, that's normal people would jump too if that happened.
Right. And what kind of number are you giving me right now?
I'm okay. I'm like 3 or 4, I'd say. 3.
The session showed Jen what she can accomplish and what lies ahead.
So what do you make of that?
I feel proud.
Yeah. Yeah.
I feel really proud.
Yeah.
For Jen McQuaid, just crossing a bridge is an act of courage. For some people, a bridge is not for transition. It is their destination. North of New York City, the Tappan Bridge carries 150,000 cars and trucks over the Hudson River every day. It's the job of the bridge maintenance staff to make sure that it's safe.
I think it's the open space. You go across the bridge and you feel this openness. Some bridges feel more open than others. Bridges are very safe. They're inspected every 2 years by law. For this bridge in particular, I'm the bridge engineer and I make sure that it's very safe. It's definitely a false fear. There's no reason to fear driving across a bridge at all.
The maintenance workers are familiar with every inch of the 3-mile-long bridge, from the roadbed to the highest parts of the structure, 305 feet above water.
This is very comfortable to me after working on this bridge for 27 years. It's like you get to know it. It's like living in your house. The heights never bothered me. A lot of people are afraid of heights. Never had a problem. Don't want to have a problem. Yeah, well, if I was in a bar and somebody told me that they'd never drive across a bridge, I would probably mention that I worked on bridges for 30 years and I've never had any problems with any bridges.
They're kind of unbelievable to be able to span across a large area and still be safe.
For her next session, Dr. White takes Jen to another bridge. The Bourne Bridge carries the road and a pedestrian path more than 135 feet above the water's surface.
You're doing a nice job of keeping your pace up. Okay.
It couldn't be more testing for Jen.
It's really hard for me to breathe. All right, we're at the very top.
The biggest thing that a person needs, and that Jen has, is a lot of motivation. The places she's chosen to live have a lot of bridges. It makes sense for her to be motivated to get over this fear. And that's evident, and certainly her biggest strength.
The bridge is shaking, unbalanced. You should keep watching all that water. Okay. There you go. You're doing an excellent job. Yeah. If I could have you snug up in there and lean up over, I want you to look up, and I want you to look straight through those beams all the way up there, right? Okay. So why don't you
Exercises are repeated and made as varied and intense as possible.
Okay, well, you can look down whenever you're ready. What kind of number? I think I'm okay, like a 7. What is it, 7? Yeah. Okay. Maybe 6.5. Okay.
The longer she stays where she is, the less her fear.
I feel pretty good. I feel better. Maybe like a 6. Maybe a 5. I'm okay. All right, I'll do it a 5. 4. This is so unbelievable. I feel good. Maybe like a 3 or 4. I'm gonna wave to these guys down here. Score! You wave away.
By simply standing on the bridge and waving at those below, Jen has climbed her personal Everest.
That was so fast! That was so fast! Oh my God, that was so fast! You did so good! Yeah, thank you. Feel good. Yeah! Fantastic job!
That old thing. It doesn't evoke any kind of fear at all. It's pretty amazing. I feel really proud and happy and at peace with the whole thing.
She needs to repeatedly do more bridges until they become so common and so easy that she doesn't even think about it, that it's boring, that it's ordinary.
Look, Mom, one hand.
Fetch, boy!
I know I'm not a dog. I'm a people like you.
Brand new Simpsons, tonight at 7 on Sky 1.
It's gonna be tough cleaning that lot.
Nah. Let's watch the footy, eh?
Down the wing, down the wing.
Half time. Go on, let's get moving. Hang on. I've made a tactical substitution. Flash with flash guard. It helps stop the dirt sticking. They think it's all over. It isn't now.
Thought you two be watching the football.
Oh, is it on? Come on!
November on Sky Sports. Great derbies and head-to-heads from the Premier League, including Arsenal v Man United. Euro 2008 qualifiers, Scotland, Italy, Wales, the Republic of Ireland, plus England in Austria. More from the Football League and the FA Cup, and follow all 6 British teams in the UEFA Champions League.
This is amazing!
What a show! November on Sky Sports.
This man's wit is killing him.
If I continue the way I am, I won't be able to move off the couch.
But can he change?
If I was having a curry like this, I'd have rice and chips with it.
Is it too late? How long will he live?
And I was just disgusted with myself.
Most of us have plenty of reasons to want a long and healthy life, and father of three, Gary Rooney, is no exception. The problem is, his sedentary lifestyle could be robbing him of those extra years he desires. Gary Rooney is a 38-year-old printer from Dublin who is dangerously overweight. Just 15 years ago, he was playing competitive basketball. Now, he's heading for an early grave.
I just feel tired all the time. I'm tired all the time. The simplest things is like cut the grass. Even walking to the shops, or if I walk down the road, I'm tired.
I asked Gary to wear a metabolic rate monitor for a week so I could measure just how little exercise he does. The results were a shock. He should be moving about 12,000 steps a day. At the moment, he takes just over 3,500.
Probably just a lazy person. Every year I put up maybe a stone, and it just keeps going that way.
In just 8 weeks, we're going to try and break habits that have become a way of life. It's going to be one of the hardest things he's ever done. But luckily, I don't think he needs to look too far for motivation.
Myself and Diane had a baby boy there a couple of weeks ago, and I wanted to be able to go out the back and kick ball with him or whatever. And I think if I continue the way I am, I won't be able to move off the couch.
Yeah. That's it. I can't really go out to play football sometimes because
his weight affects every part of his life. A year ago, he developed sleep apnea, which means he has to wear a mask every night to keep his airways open. The extra fat in Gary's neck is making his throat narrower than normal. Without the mask, his airway becomes blocked and his body jerks him awake to breathe. This weight gain has to stop before it leads to more problems.
I'd like to see us grow old together, and at the moment I don't see that ahead with his weight.
Putting on weight is putting a strain on my heart. I don't want to die, you know.
Putting on excess weight doesn't happen overnight. If I was to have any hope of helping Gary turn things around, I needed to find out when things started to go wrong.
That's the shirt I used to wear when I was under 13.
You think it would fit you now?
Probably not. It probably didn't fit me then.
Did you notice that when you stopped playing regularly that you put more weight on?
Yeah, well it did, because I continued doing the same things, like without the training, you know. I was drinking the same and I was eating the same, like takeaways.